Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CJ's Coins and Crafts. This is just going to be a little short video about one of the most recent things, coins, that I picked up. This happens to be a either a metal or a coin. This one is kind of one of those things that fits into a couple different categories. This particular one is generally called a metal, but it is often called a so-called dollar. The so-called dollar is a term that is used to describe a lot of coins that were minted for World's Fairs, the World Expos. They were coins, but not really any denomination based on them. So they were more kind of more tokens, but it's kind of a weird in between. Anyway, so this particular one was minted in 1935. This metal coin I'll call this one a metal, is struck in a nickel silver, and it is 1.25, so 1.25 inches diameter. I couldn't really find any specifics as far as mintage, or the actual composition of what this coin is struck with. All of the references that I can find either label it a nickel or a nickel silver. So I'm not sure exactly what that composition means. If there is actual silver in it or if there's not, I don't really know. I'm still working on that one. So this coin was um, basically made up by the Oregon Trail Memorial Association, and it was to commemorate the Pony Express Diamond Jubilee. So that's the 75th anniversary of the 1860 launch of the Pony Express service, which was a mail service by horseback, prior to what we know as really the mail service. So that's why you see the 1860 and the 1935 dates on the front. The association, the Oregon Trail Memorial Association, asked the company Scott Stamp and Coin Company of New York City to strike this particular coin. However, it was actually struck by Whitehead and Hogg, which incidentally was the company that struck most of the so-called dollar series. This particular coin was designed by William Henry Jackson, who was actually the research secretary of the Oregon Trail Memorial Association. So what I'm gonna do is that this is one side. I'm gonna flip it over, and that's the other side. So what this is that this is basically changing horses at one of the relay stations that they had. This is a metal alignment, which means it flips side to side versus over end. And I deal with so many coin alignments that I already flipped it the wrong way. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it underneath the scope, because there's a couple of things that I kind of wanted to point out. So I'm going to put it right up here. So if you guys will focus right over here, you'll see kind of what I'm looking at. So one of the things is relay station, and then right here on the bottom we do see the Whitehead, and then the and then HOAG, and that is the company that actually struck these coins. One of the things that I thought was really interesting while looking at this is that I noticed there is a lot of extra things going around, going on around the letters. And this is something that I haven't quite figured out what's going on. I have a pretty good idea, but I'm definitely gonna have to look at some more specimens of this coin, of this token, because one of the biggest things is, at first I thought there was mechanical doubling or machine doubling on these letters, but then I noticed this, and this was what really set this out. if you actually look at the 1 on this, right up here, you'll see a second 1 to the northwest. And then the 8 has some extra around it. There was another point, I believe the D. Yeah, so there is very, very strong indicators that this was actually either a retooled or from, especially when I'm looking at devices like this, I do believe that this was actually a doubled die that struck this design, because we have all these weird anomalies, like northwest, and now all these extra letters and stuff that are showing up. At first I thought it was machine doubling, but then, looking at the 1 and seeing like right here where it's got extra splits outside of that, and then right here on the end, the extra on the north side of it towards the rim. There we go. Towards the rim, and then down here at the bottom, there's too many things for that to be any kind of mechanical doubling. So there's definitely something that is going on with this particular coin. So I am looking at more examples of this to see if this is just happens to be one of the things that they had a die that was doubled or something to the effect, and they only struck X number of these, and that's either this is the way that all of the designs will be, or most, or some. The really kind of key point is that in the company Whitehead and Hogg, when they actually sold the company that bought them out actually had, I don't know if demanded was the word, but they had all of the records that every single item that Whitehead and Hogg had minted, had created. They ordered all of those records to be destroyed. So there isn't a lot of information on items like this. This currently does not have, not that I've been able to find, does not have an HK number, which the HK number is a kind of a designation of a variety type. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I have it written down somewhere. Where the so-called dollars kind of fit in. Where the metals, where the tokens, it's a little bit of exonumia, but then it also goes into like so-called dollars, which is one of those kind of in-between things. But I digress. So I thought this was a really neat pickup. I just wanted to do a video on it. I think it's a really neat piece. It's a metal. There's history on it, and the fact that I come up with really weird abnormalities on this one. So if you guys see tokens, if you guys see so-called dollars, I encourage you to take a look at them, look up the history of them, and who knows, maybe you could find something crazy like this one. So I just wanted to do that. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and hit the button in the down right hand corner. That is the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great time.